Well, here we go again with team news. Any changes drawn to the squad you'll have available on Saturday?
Well, it's probably, if you don't mind, it's easier to give you an injury update because I've got a list there and I just thought it's an easier way of doing it. So Woody's making a bit of progress, but it's still early days yet. Taiwo is on the grass, doing well. Douglas Luiz is close to getting back to training with us. Angus Gunn, a bit delayed on that, but getting better. Dylan Backward had 60 minutes, so that's good. Came through that unscathed, but obviously he's gently as he gets fitter and match fit. Zinchenko, he's on the grass and doing fine, so that's good. He's on his way back. Ola's still a bit of time yet. Aaron Bott, young guy who's recovering from injury, and Murillo unfortunately he was touch and go with the hamstring, and then he's been ill since. So we're just monitoring him daily. A lot of bugs about at the minute, so he's just been ill since. So we're just hoping that he recovers quickly.
And was Morgan Gibbs-White okay? He looks.
Yeah, I think he's all right. Yeah, there's a few knocks at the minute. We're playing a lot of games, as you know, and a few of them guys are playing a lot of football. Morgan's one of them, so a few knocks more than anything. But I don't think it's anything serious, or certainly it's not been reported as serious. But just recovery day today.
Well, that win last night leaves you currently 4 points now off the bottom. How important was it to get straight back to winning ways, given how tight things are? We saw Leeds winning again last night.
Yeah, I mean, we want to take care of ourselves. We're not really interested in others. The focus is certainly on ourselves. I thought we performed well at the weekend. I said that. I didn't think we performed as well last night, but found a way to win, and that's important. With the amount of games we've got, I think we've got to find different ways of winning. I was super pleased with that last night because first half I thought we were good value and could have been in front. I thought. Despite VAR and all that, I thought we had really good chances to go in front, and we didn't capitalise on that. They came stronger in the second half, but I thought we defended very well. I don't think Matt's had too many big saves to make. And then we scored a very good goal, to win us it. So it's important, that factor of finding different ways to win. I like it when my sides do that, and I thought we did that last night.
In terms of the last 5 Premier League games, you're taking on an Everton side with an identical form to yourselves. Where do you see their biggest threats?
Well, I think they've done well. They had the ugly one in the middle of all that, which can happen in the Premier League. If a team turns up, Newcastle were good on the day, and that can happen. David Moyes knows I'm a big fan of his. I've been for many years. I've spoken openly of that. And his sides are always difficult, or rarely not difficult to play against. So we know we've got to go up there in good form. I think we are. I think there's a good feeling in the camp, and there's a good energy to the side. So I want to go up there and deliver that, of course.
How do you reflect back on your time with Everton?
It was hard. I mean, I said openly it was a very hard situation to manage, and I was very proud of what we all did, by the way. Not just me. As manager, you do take the heat and you take the good stuff as well. But there were so many people involved in making sure that club came through a really messy period, and on and off the pitch for many different reasons, and to navigate our way through it. And the time had probably come. That's the way it goes. Where players were just dwindled a little bit. The heat was coming on, and I thought a change of face would work, and it has done. And excuse me. And Moyes, with his history of the club and his know-how of the Premier League, is doing a good job, as I thought he would do. And they've spent some money, which they knew they needed to invest, and they have done. The Premier League's, it doesn't matter just about them. It's a Premier League season. They're all good sides. We saw last night. These sides Wolves are not just going to lay down and let you beat them. You have to be right for every game, and I think we're showing signs of our consistency is improving.
It's your first time in the dugout at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Your first time facing them since your departure. Will there be any personal emotion for you?
No, I worked hard there. Very happy with the work I've done there overall, and as I said, many others. Left on good terms with everyone there and said, look, this is the way it goes. We move forwards, and I have done. My time there is done, and now it's about Nottingham Forest Football Club. That's all I'm interested in.
Would you hope, though, that you get a positive reception from the fans?
Look, I mean, the top is they're a strong bunch in many ways. It might be good, bad, or indifferent. I don't know. But deep down, they know the work that we did. And I know there's plenty of them because they all come and told me. So whatever reception I get is not really relevant. It's about the team going and performing. But I've got a lot of good people there. There's a lot of good people there, by the way. Like I say, who work very hard. And there's still people they know they can trust me, and I'd certainly trust them. So a lot of good links made there, through a very difficult period. And great value in the players there, the ones who are still there, who were there in my time, because they worked very hard through an awkward period.
In terms of Forest,
excuse me.
We saw Amari Hutchinson making his first Premier League start last night, an assist for him. a first Premier League goal for Igor Jesus as well. How important is it for their development and their overall confidence?
Yeah, I think both. I think their development slightly differently. Amari's, been in the Premier League last season with Ipswich, so it's development, but developing into this club and feeling more assured in himself at this football club, and I think that's happening. Been very pleased with him and for what he's offering. And Igor, coming into a new division and working hard, and of course all the usual stuff, moving, different culture, language, everything, and he's working really hard, and I was absolutely delighted for him. He's brave, he's strong, and he works hard for the team, and it's like I say, I mentioned it last night, but the goal at Liverpool, we're all scratching our heads out, that didn't stand, and then the keeper makes a really big save for Brighton last week, and then he finally gets his goal last night, so I'm very pleased for him and all the effort he's putting in.
Thanks, Sean. All the best.
Thank you.
Sean,
winter sniffles, yeah, go on.
you love a 1-0, as we all very well know. You've got
Every
one,
manager does, by the way, it's not just me.
and David Moyes has had 2 out of the last 3. What sort of a game are you expecting then?
Well, you never know, do you? I mean, it could be open, it could be a closed game. You never know until the whistle blows. But, it's rare that David Moyes' sides are not, organised and ready for the game. I'd like to think my sides are always the same. So we'll wait and see what happens. But, we've been happy with our form, and I think we're really focusing on that. The form of the players, I think, and the strength of the players to go through this busy spell has been really, really pleasing for me. Because it is kind of recover, replan, re-go, recover, replan, re-go, and varying people coming in and out the side at varying times for different competitions and all delivering so far. So I'm really pleased with that, and that's obviously we've got to go and do it again.
Yeah, I was about to touch on that. This game management, this schedule management. You've got another 3 games in 8 days coming up, travel to Europe as well. I mean, how do you go about managing this situation with a lot of injuries to deal with at the same time?
Yeah, the injury list has been a real challenge. We all know that. They are beginning to show signs of getting through, or some of them are getting through, so that's going to help. I think the mentality is the key. I think the players' mentality has been excellent since I got here. Open-minded to what we're offering just as our group, and then obviously the game schedule as well. The only thing I always say to them is that it's not going away, it's there, so we can all prep mentally and get ready for it. And then we'll do our bit, regarding the team planning and everyone who's involved, the sports science side of things, the doctors, the medics. I bought a song out once. And then obviously the dietitians as well. That was a slow reaction there, but anyway, don't worry, tried. Doctor of the medics, thank you for nodding your head, yeah. But they're all playing their part, and that's what you have to do. I know, yeah. And I'm getting more blunt rather than sharper, quite obviously, but no, they all got to play their part to make sure the team are ready.
And look, you touched on it last night, but is there a way that the VAR situation can be improved? At the risk of opening a whole can of worms here, is there being constructive? Could it be improved?
I said last night, I'm not going to ramble on about it again. I can't work out why they keep adding more to the referees. I think they do a great job. Why they keep adding more? Speak to the crowd. Why? They said it's for crowd participation. Really? Well, they don't need to know anything other than what the decision is for, in my opinion. I don't know where they get all these. They keep telling me all the crowd want these things. Well, I see fans all the time. They never tell me. They go, God, we should just speed the game up. The monitor thing. Unbelievably, it was ours that went against us. So I always say no, it never does. He changed his mind. That's the way it goes. I still believe in it. I just think there must be a way of speeding it up. That was a long time last night. And even going over to the monitor, it must have been in so much doubt to take that long to look at a monitor and decide. So that go, well, which way do you hedge then? Do you hedge on the side of positive or do you hedge on the side of negative? There was 2 penalties for me in the same incident, by the way. Well, two different corners for wrapping round Morgan Gibbs-White, pulling him to the floor, and Murillo. So I don't even know they're not given, But anyways, I still believe in it. I still think it's the right thing for the professional side of the game. I don't think it's necessarily the right thing for supporters. I've always said that. But as a professional, people can lose their jobs over these decisions. So it's very important as professional people that at least you're given an even chance that they're going to go for you, offsides and stuff like that. So, yeah, but I understand for fans. And last night was too long by any measure. Whatever the outcome of the decision was, it was just too long. And then they have to speak to the crowd. I just don't get it. I just think, let the refs just referee. When I was younger, the best refs, they always say you didn't even know they were there. They were always the best refs. Now the refs there because they're telling the world before they even got out there. If I was a ref, I'm like, can you just leave me alone and let me get on with it? But anyway, that's only my opinion, obviously.
And just Just going back to your reference to David Moyes as well, it feels like you're cut from a similar cloth, where you seem to approach the game, and you've openly admitted that you admire his style. Has he been a bit of an inspiration to the way you go about your
No, I
work?
don't think he's admiring his style. I think he's admiring the job he's done at many different football clubs. It's not easy going in and out of different football clubs. I thought he did a brilliant job at West Ham. And I think he's done obviously his first time at Everton. Man United, who wanted to follow that one in? Sir Alex Ferguson, arguably the best manager of all time, most decorated manager. That's not an easy gig. Handled himself correctly, didn't go maybe to plan, but he wasn't given that much time when you look back. I just think he's a very, very good operator, very shrewd operator, and knows the business. So I've always been a fan of his, and I've spoke to him. I've called him the odd time in my younger days or younger times in the Premier League and said, things you've learned, things you can offer, and always try and see him after a game and stuff like that. But he fights. I mean, on the sidelines, there'll be none of that then. The whistle blows, and we'll both be getting on with it. But I think, he's old enough and wise enough, and I certainly am after the game. You just go, all right, what's done is done. Let's crack on, see each other, say hello, and then get on your way.
Thank you.
Thanks, Owen. We'll go Owen from BBC.
Hi, Sean.
Hi.
I know you already did injuries, but I'm just wondering, Chris Wood, how far off is he when Matt's in?
Yeah, it's still, we're not putting any timescales on it because it's slowly and carefully, but he is making some progress. We're just starting him back on the real pathway after a rest period to settle things down. So we're hopeful that it's going in the right direction, but it's very early yet.
With this busy run of games and the challenges you've spoken about, what changes? What do you do differently, or is it just the basics done the same as ever?
No, I think you're going game to game, who's got knocks, who's got injuries, who needs the best recovery we can give them. Can we change the side in certain situations? Do we have to go again with the same side? It's just, I think the usual process which occurs, by the way, because even if you're playing week to week, these things happen. It's just that you've got to, fast track it. You've got to crunch everything down, and all the details become really important. And the players' responsibility as well. Speaking a lot about the players when they're at home. Can they rest? It's hard. They've got lives. Christmas is coming, but trying to say to them, look, do what you can, get your rest, make sure you're recovering away from what we do, and then obviously we can organise and plan what we do on site. So yeah, just working as hard as we can, all the different departments, and analytics as well. Some training schedules have to change. You can't do as much on the grass, so therefore can we do stuff through analytics and pre-planning and visuals and all the things you try and put into place to give the players the best chance to go and operate and win games.